Hi, Pavel.
Lux, hello.
Nice to meet you.
Very nice. Nice to meet you as well.
So today we are starting a series of interviews called AI in Production at our AI Start Academy location. And our first guest today is Pavel Shaburov.
You can say Pavel, Paul. In English, Paul is a bit easier.
Paul
Yep.
Shaburov, CEO, founder and CEO of Glam.ai, a consumer AI content-first social media platform.
Yes.
And we are going to talk today about consumer Gen AI, about his startup, about his journey, and just try to figure out all these curious things that are happening in the world of AI. Pavel, how are you feeling today?
Very good. I mean, I wish the weather could be better. I know the viewers are not seeing this, but we're in the south right now in San Francisco. It's super rainy, but happy to be here together doing this interview.
Right, it's cozy here. When it's raining outside and it's warm inside,
100%.
the feeling is much
you
better.
feel the warmth, yeah. Very nice.
When did you move to San Francisco, Paul?
It's actually a wonderful question. I don't spend all my time here. I spend half my time in SF, half my time in Europe. So basically, I don't consider myself like a native San Franciscan, if that's a word. Rather, I spend like five months a year, maybe 4 months a year, maybe 6 months a year, while I can be here. The rest of the time I spend outside.
San Franciscan, huh? So what's European country are you in?
So actually, two main countries. Our team, the team that we have together with Glam.ai, most of the guys are based out of Georgia, and myself actually also spent some time in Cyprus. So those two countries between Cyprus and Georgia, they're very close by. So I travel back and forth.
That's cool. So tell me your story, Paul. So what year were you born?
Yeah, actually, I'm. I thought I was young, but now I see like even more younger people. I was born in the year 2000, so I'm 26 years old.
Wow.
I've been doing this company for 2 years. My background is actually I'm a computer science engineer. Essentially, I started off kind of more in the sphere called natural language processing, which was training chatbots. So that was right when I left university, which was 2022. And then kind of over time, I transitioned into more like visual stuff. And that's exactly what we're doing together with Glam.ai.
So it's been a while that you've been working as a computer science
Yeah, that's true. It's been
expert.
That's correct. It's been, I think, 4+ years. Yeah,
4+ years.
Wrote code. Yeah.
It's So it's not that much considering. Where did you get your degree from?
So I grew up, most of my childhood, I grew up here in the States, in LA. But actually, the education I finished at a Russian university in St. Petersburg.
Okay, that's cool. Interesting story, all this international vibe going on off the start. Right. Pretty cool. Okay, so prior to Glam.ai, you were a computer science major. You graduated from college. What was next step? Did you go to work anywhere?
Yeah, actually, I did go to work. I worked at 2 companies, and those 2 companies happened to sell to quite a big giant. Have you ever heard of a company called Snapchat?
Yeah, Snapchat. Right. My ex-wife used to love that.
Very nice. So yeah, basically, I worked at 2 companies. They both sold to Snap. And essentially, I was part of the team. I was very young at the time, so I was like more of an intern, taking like some junior positions. But it was super interesting to see kind of that process developing, and then actually being able to like force that closure. And then most of the team, I continued kind of doing my own thing. Most of the team switched over to Snap. A lot of them actually moved down to LA, to London, to San Francisco, and continued working at Snap there locally.
I like how you call it Snap. Very
I mean, so Snap,
friendly.
That's the formal name is Snap. Snapchat is their platform.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. So after that, what happened? How did you leave Snapchat?
So I was never part of Snapchat. I was part of the companies that sold to Snapchat. And basically, what I did afterwards, I kind of figured that now was an amazing time to start doing your own startup. This was the time essentially when diffusion models were starting to come out. ChatGPT hit big, everyone kind of switched over to that platform. So I realized the chances there, and I always want to stay in consumer, right? Because all the previous experience I had, that was a consumer company. It kind of made sense, the consumer story. So we started off building a lot of mobile apps, and I think altogether we had like five iterations of different mobile apps, and nothing was working. Right? We tried one thing, we put a lot of time, effort, energy, capital, and then just crashes down. Like nothing is converging. So we kind of closed one idea, switched to the next idea. And that was a very repetitive thing, but I'm glad that we kind of kept iterating. And via this iterative process, essentially, we managed to kind of find this niche that we managed to scale quite well, which is Glam.ai.
So you had a few iterations prior that you got to Glam.ai, and there were a bunch of failures. It's 5 you mentioned?
Yes.
So this is 6th attempt.
That is the 6th attempt.
we have a joke inside of my company. Is one of the servers in Google Cloud we called Build a Team 52. And then once we had some interns coming on and they asked, why 52? And we were like, it's 52nd attempt to get rich.
Very nice.
Pretty much same thing. Do you have any business people in your family line?
I do, and actually I'm quite blessed for that to be the case. One of the kind of like my biggest mentors is actually my dad. And people might ask, like, how was I as such a young guy working at companies that sold to Snap? The reason is that my dad, he was the founder of those companies. Essentially, the first company was called a company called Luxury, which was the face filters, right? If you've seen the face filters, essentially that's what they did. And the second company that was a bit later, that was in 2019, also a very similar story. They managed to sell a team to Snap and kind of also continue working on this facial technology that is now present within Snap. Yeah.
What a glamorous story, but you know, some people would have missed the opportunity, but you totally capitalized on it. So it's very nice of you. It's your dad must be proud of you.
Well, my dad has high expectations, right? He sold two wonderful companies. I'm only building my first company now, right? So.
And you're only 26, bro. Come on. Still, you feel the pressure. It sounds like.
It's good. No, it's constructive pressure, and I'm all for it. Yeah.
Does he help you on a weekly, monthly check-in basis or something?
He's officially the mentor of the company, so to us, kind of he's like the board member, and we have like bi-weekly calls where we kind of give updates, progress. There's a lot of feedback, and kind of we develop on that feedback. So I mean, of course, the knowledge that kind of is being passed over is super immense. Yeah.
After you talk about business, do you say, Dad, I love you still, not dependent on what's going on?
Yeah, we keep those two things distinct, right?
Separate, so, compartmentalization?
Which I think we managed to do quite well.
All right, that's cool. Interesting story. All right, so here we go. Glam.ai, you became a founder of an app on the 6th attempt to build something that would kind of take off. How did you notice that this idea is actually taking off and something is happening, there is something there?
Yep. No, it's an amazing question. Basically, when it comes to building consumer apps, you really want to focus on 2 metrics, and ideally you want to have both of them. Right? The first metric is revenue. So when you have a consumer app, you need to understand that this business is scalable, this business is bringing in revenue, and kind of that story is developing. And the second part is retention. And we, of course, want to have both kind of these components, but we first started that, we learned that revenue is just kind of a simpler way to process it. So we always tried building businesses that we could monetize. And the best way to monetize is by running ads, which is like performance marketing ads. You run ads on Meta, on TikTok, on other platforms. And you always want to keep in mind 2 things, which is the unit economy, which is your customer acquisition cost.
So after 5 iterations, after 5 attempts to get rich on your 6th one, you figured out that this app is working. So you started working on Glam.ai, and at some point you realized that this is something that's going to have potential. How did you feel that?
Yep. So wonderful question. Basically, for all the other mobile apps, mobile consumer apps that we did, we always had in mind two big metrics, which is, I think, the 2 most important metrics when it comes to building companies, especially in the consumer field, which is revenue and the retention that kind of comes with the revenue which you get. And ideally, you want to have both. But at first, when you start scaling, you can also kind of focus on just one of them, with the hope of potentially bring the second one into play later. And the metric that we decided to pick was revenue, was trying to scale essentially the monetization, the user base, the paying users. And for all of these previous iterations, kind of this approach was always the same. It was you start running performance marketing ads, which is ads that you might see on Instagram, maybe on TikTok, on other platforms, and you try making sure the unit economy converges, which essentially your customer acquisition cost is much lower than your LTV, or the average check which users essentially end up paying when they become a monetized user. And to us, that was always very hard, right? We started running budgets, and it just wasn't working. The customer acquisition cost was much higher than the LTV. Even when like it kind of became close, we couldn't find a way to get that margin like much higher. So that was always a problem. That was like the main kind of decision, what led to the closure of the other kind of other attempts. And with Glam, it was actually quite the opposite. We started running paid marketing ads and started to see that this is working. We have a healthy LTV to customer acquisition cost ratio. As we scale the budget, as we scale the ad spend on like daily basis, the LTV, the customer acquisition cost is not increasing too much. There's still plenty of room to expand. And we started doing that. And it was amazing to see. And on top of that, we hit this phenomenon called virality, where essentially now, because it's a very visual product, something catches up on social media, and bam, you have like this huge new influx of users. Essentially, you're acquiring them at a zero cost, and it's just fantastic to see. And that's kind of what led us to this decision that yes, we should double down on Glam and really try to build the most out of it.
Okay, smart move. Pretty much, in simple words, you started, instead of kind of keep building, what you did is you tried getting real customer feedback by purchasing traffic from Instagram or Facebook using meta ads, let's say, and then you saw that the conversion rate was high and that the LTV, meaning that the customers were staying longer than they churned, and then that gave you understanding that okay, this thing is working, we can keep increasing the budget. With the increase of the budget, the things are only getting better. Nothing is breaking up.
That's correct, yeah.
Perfect.
That's 100% correct.
And I think that's a very good way to get started. I always tell startup founders I mentor and work with is that they need to concentrate right away on trying to get some traffic in, even if it's paid traffic, and see if anyone is actually willing to pay for their product.
To be fair, the best user base and most kind of productive user base that you can have is users that pay, right? Because if a user pays, he's valuing kind of the product that you have. If it's free users, but they're doing something, there's a kind of this question, are you really providing value?
Right.
You're providing value the moment the person starts paying, and the moment he actually starts kind of resubscribing his subscription. Essentially, he's saying, okay, I like this product. I know subscription will end within this period. I'm ready to have it for another billing period and for next billing period and for next billing period. That is what, for me at least, what is real product market fit.
Cool. Prior to our meeting today, I checked out your app online and oh my God, you've got so many models there. There is so much going on under the hood, but I don't think you started with all of that right away. What was your MVP?
Actually, it was very similar to kind of what you see right now. So it was basically, maybe it's best to also show some slides, but Glam is a mobile application. We have a huge filter gallery. People kind of take a filter, they don't have to do any prompting, and that way they can generate content very easily without having to like put in like crazy dangerous prompts on the fly and generate this content. And actually,
let's go.
I can maybe share a couple more about kind of the company. Essentially, we have a huge filter gallery. On a given month, actually, we produce quite a lot of views. So, for example, January, which just passed, content that was produced within Glam got around 500 million views.
Is it shared on external social media platforms?
That is 100% correct. Yeah. So basically, people create content on our platform and then later end up sharing it to other social media platforms.
Is it automated process or they copy paste through photo gallery?
No, it's a very much automated process. We have like this amazing share functionality integrated. And people kind of share natively after they have created something within our platform. And then also worth to kind of think who the actual users are, right? Actually, our main user base is actually very much women. You'd be surprised, but 92%, last time I checked, it was like, wow, 92% of
girls
all our
like
users
Glam.
are girls, yeah. And essentially, they create the content, they create the super static content, and they post it to social media. Currently, we have around 16 million total downloads. That's the amount of times the app was downloaded.
Around the world?
Yep. That's worldwide. Most of them are US users, but here's kind of the worldwide number. It's 2.5 million monthly active users and actually 7 million pieces of content. That's like the amount of content that's being produced every single
month.
So yeah, that's also quite interesting.
That requires robust infrastructure.
Yes, to be fair, I'm blessed. I have an amazing CTO and technical team. So they managed to build that out. And essentially, when there's super high demand, right, our app still continues to work. And that's the team that we managed to assemble. Yeah.
Did you start this business together with your CTO?
So actually, almost, yeah. But basically, we have quite an interesting model when it comes to building businesses. And that is that previously we tend to hire like amazing, we call them Olympiads or like super technical like stars. And the way you usually find them is via hackathons. So what I did to find my current team, my current CTO, my other co-founders, was essentially we hosted and sponsored a lot of these hackathons in Eastern Europe. Typically it was in locations such as Ukraine and so on. And essentially via those hackathons, we managed to essentially find quite talented folks. Usually they were like kind of the winners, and then kind of we found a way to work together.
That's very clever.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. All right. So how big is your current team then?
So now full time we run 40 people, and we plan to scale it within this upcoming year.
What's the breakdown? Like, what's the majority effort is?
Yeah, so majority of users, they're actually, or not users, sorry, majority of team is actually technical guys. So that's, I think, roughly 20, maybe a bit less. And the other is, of course, the marketing, right? And marketing kind of, we match it with the creative production, or essentially people who end up creating the content, which is kind of what you see, all these amazing templates. And then also kind of the marketing creatives which go along with that. So that's kind of how we define those two teams, technical guys and then marketing / content guys kind of grouped together.
Is everyone located in the same office or everyone is distributed?
So we try to have the team in an office. I mean, I'm only for an office model, the productivity is much higher. And most of our team is actually based out of an office in Georgia, which is not the state of Georgia, but the country of Georgia.
Got it. Right. So let's dive into your presentation a little bit more then.
Yeah, actually, I don't know what slides there. Here's kind of, we're talking about luxury. I think probably not so interesting. For now, we can skip. But also kind of, if we go back to Glam.ai, if we talk about what we also have, right? A lot of people say, hey, I look at the current product. It looks a bit like a wrapper, right? Essentially, we take already available kind of models and kind of just put them in an app. And to that, I want to say yes, that is definitely like a part of the case. But we also are building a lot of in-house technology. And for example, something that we really managed to really get down to are what we call adapter models.
So let's actually step back a little bit, because I don't think we ever discussed what your app actually does. So how do you operate your app? So women are the main target audience. What do they do? How do they use it?
So basically, once you enter the app, you see a huge library of available filters, like templates, filters. You as a user, you're free to pick any single one. You upload a photo of yourself. And so one photo, maybe it's 10 photos, whatever you recommend. And then basically a generation process starts, and within 1 to 2 minutes, usually not longer, you have like this beautiful aesthetic content of yourself already.
Interesting. So it's like photo shoot, professional
Yeah,
photo
it's like
shoot
professional
photos?
photo shoots. I would even say it's basically Instagram-worthy content, where a lot of people, they really like posting beautiful aesthetic content to their social media. It's quite a tedious process, right? You have to essentially get ready, you have to put on the makeup, you have to find a great location. We make it much easier for you. Essentially, just via just one single click, you can now have these amazing photo shoots, amazing settings, ready for you to post to the socials.
So studio quality photo shoots?
Yep. So actually it depends, because there's studio quality. Not every single kind of user wants something super professional, right? Some users might want something more casual. So casual kind of photo shoots also
There's
part
just
of
like anything,
anything,
like different libraries.
Yes,
different...
anything possibly imaginable, we have it, and our users do tend to find what they like the best.
So are your engineers basically mainly creating templates then, or what?
So that's actually interesting. Engineers now, templates is being created by the content team. So it's prompt engineering, right? It's people who actually write the prompts.
Okay.
What engineers do is basically they make it so that the domain that we work on, which is frontal-facing cameras, not for cameras, frontal-facing images, videos, are performing as best as they can. And what it often comes down to, they're kind of, this is what you see on the slide, they're essentially fine-tuning different types of use cases where this type of process is really amazing. And that's called essentially adapter models. And the way it works, you take a foundational model, on top of that you kind of make it make the generations much better by adding these different adapters on top of it. So this is what the engineers do essentially, right? Essentially, oftentimes when you upload yourself through let's say through an AI model, like where Nano Banana or something else, you have this problem where you lose the identity, where the end image is not you. It's something that's close to you, but it's not you. Like your hair color gets lost, your eyes are different, maybe your mouth, your facial structure, that's all being lost. And users, when they essentially are creating content and want this content to be later posted to social media, they really care about their physical appearance and the way they look. So what we do, for example, is we really are good at saving identity preservation. So our engineers, they tune the model, which is really good at preserving those facial details. So essentially, after you generate a piece of content, it's really you as the end output.
Okay, yeah, I can see that from the original photo, the second on the foundation model. Which one is that? Secret?
So it's a Chinese model right now, 1.2.2. Yep.
I can see that it's indeed has different color of the hair, and the face isn't quite exactly the same. And I can see that your adapter gets it closer to the original. It's interesting.
Correct,
so it's like few iterations of sampling, I guess, resampling and stuff.
Yeah, so basically it's like a fine-tuned layer on top of the foundational model. That's kind of all it comes down to. But there's some more examples. I'd love to share more. This is also like we also have we call like prosumer audience, which is users who upload content, maybe of their clothes, something physical, basically like bags often uploaded.
So like merchants?
Yeah, merchants, that's a good way to describe them. And they always have like logo types or some print. And AI models are really bad at preserving that print, right? Yes. For example, if you look at the image, the print is just completely gone, right?
Oh yeah, I can see on foundation mode, Tiffany is gone.
Yeah, and then here on the right, essentially, if you run it through an adapter, if you fine-tune that, you're really good at preserving essentially the text that you see here.
So you outperform existing models to a certain degree for certain scenarios?
Yeah, for certain niches, I'd exactly say. For certain niches, we perform much stronger than a regular foundational model would perform. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. All right, so do merchants use your app to sell things online?
Yes. So we have quite a big audience of merchants, of essentially marketers who are also using us for that. And yeah.
So previously, let's say, when I started my career as a web developer, one of the first businesses was starting an e-commerce website for a diamond district business in New York. And we had that white box, we would take pictures of like rings, and then that everything would sparkle, you know. So now everything is commoditized, sounds like you can take a an okay picture of a ring and then make it
You can
blink.
really blush it up and make it as stunning as possible, and pretty zero cost without much effort. So that's kind of what AI has done.
Right.
And I think.
And plus put it on a model virtually.
What do you mean by putting it on a model?
No, like, okay, you have a ring, now you can theoretically attach it to
you
it
can, like
on a
person,
woman, for example.
And you can change that. Yes, that's a big part of it too. Basically, anything that you possibly is imaginable, you can now really touch up with Gen AI.
Mm-hmm. So how do you think Gen AI is changing the industry then? What do you think, where are we heading right now?
So to me, it still seems like Gen AI is kind of this tool which allows you to create more at a bigger scale, be more productive. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what we're seeing now. Of course, you still need the human input, right? The human needs to kind of show his ideas, ask it to be brought to life, maybe play around with it, like reprompt some stuff. But I wouldn't exclude it that the future of Gen AI will kind of lead to a path where there'll be very minimal input from us as humans.
In general.
Or essentially kind of your library of content, the content that you essentially see on your feed, that is completely being taken over and generated by AI. That's kind of how I see this play out ahead.
So there will be no photo shoots?
There will be photo shoots, but basically those photo shoots will already be will be fully created by AI without you having to take any input. So essentially, if you want a beautiful photo shoot, that photo shoot will be already there, rather than you having to physically put on the prompt, put in kind of a picture of yourself. Rather, that content will be already there for you to be consumed. Essentially, what I'm arguing here is that the creation process, where essentially user has to create by clicking the generate button, by essentially picking something from the library, that will kind of disappear. And rather it will be more of a consumption aspect where you as a user will only be consuming content that is super relevant to you. That's how I see this future go ahead.
So what you're saying is AI will pre-generate so many possible variations of anything imaginable and available in the markets and in the scenes and studios and whatever it is, that you just kind of type it in and it's already there for you.
Yeah, when you say type it in, you just go and that content is already there for you to essentially.
It already knows even what you need.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
So let's say if I'm a merchant, I go in, the rings are already pre-generated for me.
That's correct, yeah.
If I am an influencer, I don't know, dresses and sell dresses are already there for me.
That's correct, yeah.
So it's a collaboration but at some point there should be some human, like the rings come out in a certain seasonality. Let's say there is like a new collection coming out, spring, fall,
Yeah, I mean, if it's a physical product, you still need to kind of tokenize it and put it into the model. That process maybe, but essentially anything that comes next, you essentially having to come down, write the prompt, like think of ways to change it, think of ideas, that will completely go away. That stuff will be completely taken over by Gen AI.
I think merchants have no idea about that. So please, one of my main businesses, my main business is called Custom Product Builder. It's a product customization and personalization platform. And we have merchants who sell sports equipment, electronic equipment, bicycles that can be personalized and customized. So you can build, for example, a bicycle while looking at it and changing every aspect of it. Or a ring, for example, so how does that come into play? Let's say for example, an average builder, an average user of our plugin for a certain merchant, the merchant will have unlimited options for the let's say a chain. A chain can have multiple pendants, and then you can have green, yellow, blue, etc., etc., etc. So how does that process, you think, will come in? The personalization, will it go deeper on every level, or will it be standardized across the templates that you give it?
I think it all comes down to if you take the social media model, right? Like in Instagram, TikTok, they're really good at understanding what interests you. right? When you open an Instagram feed, you have these recommendations. If I like cars, I'm gonna get car content. If I like something else, I'm gonna get different content. And basically, a very similar process to how I see this developing next is that this will be kind of a matter of generation where now AI doesn't only recommend you content like it does now. It takes a fixed set of, a fixed array of already created content and it gives you the best recommendation. But rather it knows your interests. It generates that interest for you and then it gives it to you as an end consumer. So that's kind of the step that we're missing now. But it's very likely to come within, I mean, even this year, the next year. I wouldn't be too surprised if all of social media is going to be not content that real people made, but rather content that is on the fly generated with Gen AI by AI for you.
You think it distorts the reality or it amplifies it? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, actually, my view of that is that it needs to be natural, right? Oftentimes people think of, there's this word called AI slop. I'm sure you've heard of it, right? The thing is, AI slop is usually created by real individuals, right? It's some person who actually had this idea and then he created this AI slop. Once you kind of go outside of this box where AI is generating content as naturally as possible, you're shifting away from this notion of AI slop. To you, that content will seem as natural, kind of as organic as possible. So for you, it won't really matter. And actually, that's what we're seeing also right now within our platform, right? If you, for example, go back here, all these generations here, a lot of people, when they see Glam content on their feeds, a lot of users, they don't understand that this is AI generated. Like you look at a photo and they're like, wow, okay, this girl actually, she uploaded such beautiful content.
Right.
She had like a photo session, photo shoot. It's really her. Not a lot of people understand. But yeah, and essentially that's what we'll see. A lot of this content will feel as natural, as organic as possible.
Interesting, okay. More slides?
Yeah, I mean, a couple more slides. So here we talk about like more adapters. I think we can kind of skip that part. This is exactly what we talked about right now, right? That now when you talk about AI, that content feels already super organic. Actually, fun fact, I looked at the stats yesterday and I figured that a lot of content that's being posted on social media is already AI-generated content, which, I mean, everyone knows. But I was surprised how much it is. 30% of content that's being posted as of today is already AI-generated, fully AI-generated. So you can imagine if it's today, what will happen next month, 2 months. So essentially, more and more content more and more social media is being flooded with AI-generated content, and that AI-generated content is perceived as naturally as possible. Yeah.
You know, I have I like to see everything from both perspectives, and I love how AI is just popping into your eyes every time I see things in the feed. But I also agree that certain things become indistinguishable from real content. And I go into comments right away to see if it's AI or not. And there are so many videos right now, I don't know, horses saving people, dogs doing like crazy fancy things and whatnot. And you start questioning the reality almost on every step. You see some post. You don't know if it's true or not. And do you think that this will become a problem going forward, or do you think that's can be mitigated somehow? What would be your approach to that?
It's a really good question, right? It's kind of like an ethical question almost. I think Instagram is actually doing quite a okay job at this, because when you post any content to Instagram, you essentially have to tick the checkbox saying this is AI generated content, yes. And then you kind of see like a small little like disclosure saying this is AI generated. Not all people do that, right? Instagram is trouble detecting if it's AI, if it's not AI. But we have to be careful. I mean, there's misinformation being spread everywhere. If it's not even AI, it still can be misinformation. So the way we tackle it will be definitely very interesting. But I don't think we can argue that this is something that we will not see. It's definitely coming. 30% of it content is already AI-generated as of today.
Just more and more.
So we just have to get accustomed to it. It gets smarter in our head when it comes to kind of believing content. But I think it also provides a lot of amazing positives which we're obviously seeing.
Definitely fast dopamine.
Yes.
Definitely. Okay, so that's the real content, and the AI is being distinguishable from it. Any more slides that you have?
So actually, this is kind of about what we want to, the kind of division of the company. I'll also be happy to rephrase because we basically mentioned it today, but kind of what we want to do. Basically, Glam today, we're a content creator platform. So people are creating content first, right? You as a user, you come to create content. But what's actually quite interesting is that a lot of our users, they're already consuming content, right? So their creation is big part, but consumption is also quite massive. And what I mean by consuming, we have a user feed where essentially users can upload content of themselves or of others, and people can leave likes, leave comments, and 40% of monthly active users are doing that, which is an amazing signal to start seeing. And kind of what we believe will happen next is that now we're in a position to essentially shift from a content creation platform to this content consumption platform, where essentially you as a user will not have to rely on you creating content. That content is being created already for you. So if I'm a girl, I need to have like these beautiful photo shoots. I don't have to go create. I go on the platform, and that content is already being there for me. It can be myself in different type of settings.
Wow.
It can be, I don't know, something more like Pinterest type of vibes, right? It can be like beautiful sunset, beautiful, whatever might be interested for me. That content can be generated on the fly for user and user. And that's kind of what the goal for us will be, to via these amazing recommendations, create the most relevant content for the user, rather than having him to create the content himself.
So you go into your app, and you already have, okay, in my Glam.ai app, I already visited Hawaii, I've been to Portland, have flew to the moon, yeah, something like that, went to the beach, whatever you want, whatever you're thinking about.
Whatever you kind of desire, you can now have, right?
You already have. It's like an interesting concept, close to maybe metaverse or something, where your dreams come true.
But I was actually metaverse. I think it's kind of a little bit going off tangent, right? We're still kind of keeping it real because at the end of the day, it's like a social feed, right? It's basically you open a TikTok, you open an Instagram, you have that content for you. But that content is being sourced from other kind of creators.
Okay.
We want to replace those creators. By essentially AI being the creator, but being your unique creator. That creator that actually creates content just for you, kind of understanding you, knowing you, and then kind of putting the best content out there. And that is both for photo and for video. Here's a very important kind of question, right? And that is, for people who might know, AI is quite expensive.
Right.
It's super expensive, actually. And actually, we can actually tell you how expensive it is. If you take top models, right? If you take a nano banana, like a Google Veo, and you assume a person needs to have like 1 hour of content being created for him every single day. 1 hour of content so you can kind of swipe through, kind of take ideas, like interact with the feed. For every single user, that 1 hour of content creation is going to cost you $450.
Seriously? Per user?
Per user.
1 hour. How are you supposed to monetize that?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Here's another thing. If you expand that to a user base of an Instagram, which is 3 billion plus users, your monthly cost would be more than the US debt, which is $39 trillion, right? Every single month you'd be burning that much. So this is not a feasible model, right? You cannot do it. The thing is, we know two things, right? First thing is that compute costs, they're gonna go down. Definitely, models are getting cheaper, computers getting cheaper. But even if you get it down 10, 30 times, right? And it costs maybe $10, $15 per user a day. Still too expensive. And that is like, you have to do such a huge job. So kind of the way we see it actually play out in the future is essentially what we call like on-device compute, edge compute. Where essentially all these generations, all these creations, they're gonna be run locally on your iPhone, on your physical device. And once you have that, essentially you don't have to pay for the compute. Now you can scale maybe 2 hours, 3 hours of content, which would before cost you a lot of dollars. Now it'd be basically for free.
It's interesting. I mean, from technical perspective, I understand edge computing because on our app we're trying to save money on server-side rendering. Instead of doing that, we send headless traffic to the browser. So that's pretty much similar concept here, that you have generation on your device. Are devices ready for that?
We believe yes. Actually, I can tell more. If you see all these photos on the right, those photos have been generated on an iPhone. That's already like on-device compute.
What about Android?
Android is next step.
Next step.
Qualcomm does an amazing job. Their Snapdragon chips, they're equally as good as the Apple chips, right? So also possible. Of course, this will only work for like high-end iPhones, so iPhone 16 and higher. But people will have newer phones. A lot of people right now already have iPhone 16 higher, so there's quite a big kind of volume of users you can give this out to. And the next step is, of course, the video, right? Because a photo, while it's today possible, videos is a much more challenging task, and we believe that maybe within like 2, 3, 6 months, a video can also be brought onto the device.
Oh wow! So my head is just blowing. This is a completely new topic for me. I've not dug into creation of content using AI, and I have so many questions. And at the same time, I understand that it's all mostly in the philosophical field, which we cannot really grasp right now, because we'll have to see how it goes, and a lot of it is just depends on the awareness of people who work with AI and what intention they put into what they're creating. And whatever is you have created so far is pretty impressive in terms of the quality of the imagery. The generated content is like eye-catching,
Yeah.
and it's really pretty cool.
Thank you.
Okay. Any more slides?
I think that is probably the last. Actually, yeah, it's actually not the last slide. So just comparison, right? If you compare like a Nano Banana to like an on-device model, I would argue actually that the on-device even performs stronger, right? Which you see here. And actually, what's quite amazing is that I use identity preservation, right? We talked at the beginning about identity preservation, being able to kind of have these facial features. On-device model actually did a much better job. Foundation models, they're still lacking, right? They still have trouble kind of doing that.
Wow.
Here's some more examples. Essentially, on-device model, super lightweight model, maybe weighs around 2 gigabytes, and then like a Nano Banana, which is a huge model. In terms of quality, very equal. In terms of identity preservation, actually here, a much better job is done.
That's true.
And that's it. That's kind of, that's the finished presentation. Last slide.
Paul, I'm super impressed. And thank you a lot for coming today and showing all of these amazing things that you have created in Glam.ai. You say you have 16 million users right now worldwide that are, generating...
wouldn't be here. But basically there are generally 7 million pieces of
7 million, yes. 7 million pieces
yes, and 2 million monthly active users that come within a single month.
And it's just pretty much you've been doing it only for 2 years, so it's just going to grow.
Yes, 2 years. We actually managed to scale the revenue, right? So in terms of revenue, we're close to doing 60 million ARR. And our plan is we want to break 100 within the next couple, 2-3 months.
Not bad. Good luck.
Yes. So that'll be quite a big milestone for us as a team. And then after that, till end of the year, the goal should be to pass 200 million in terms of ARR.
All right. That sounds really impressive as a goal, and I wish you all the luck that you can get in order to get there. But it sounds like everything is mathematically proven already. So you're just gonna do what's required to be there.
Yes. Well, that's the goal.
That's the goal.
Of course, we'll be positive. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you a lot again for coming today. Please, everyone who is watching this video, this is our first interview in AI in Production series at AI Start Academy. Today's interview was with Pavel Shaburov. Yep. And now we talked about Glam.ai and AI content for social media platforms and GenAI, consumer GenAI. And if you have any questions, please leave them in comments. And if you would like to be interviewed here as well, send us a note. And if you'd like to talk to Paul about Glam.ai, just leave comments below, and we'll make sure that he response.
Sounds good. Lex, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Likewise. Take care. Bye.
Bye bye.